Hi, this is Arun from arunsyoga.in. I'm a software engineer who mostly work with Node.js, PHP, and other backend technologies. And I'm an open source contributor as well. I'm a tantric by birth in a family which is passing tantric wisdom from generations to generations from past 2000 years of legacy and got lucky to travel across India and got chances to study under various gurus from different backgrounds and disciplines. You could connect with me in arunsyoga.in. Here I'm helping you to design a divine lifestyle which is based on Vedic astrology, tantra, and other yogic system of understanding.
Hello and welcome to Vedic Reading Series, episode number 22, part 2, The Comfort of Nakedness and Psychosexuality. We have already spoken to Barbora in the first part of this particular podcast, and this is the continuation of the first part. So whoever haven't heard about the first part, I'm just introducing Barbora to you. So our guest in today's podcast is Barbora. In this podcast, we are discussing about Barbora's chart. We have discussed about the work which she does on the first half of this particular podcast. Barbora is a passionate and seasoned practitioner who has completed training in somatic therapy and conscious sexuality in both Denmark and London. She is currently completing a diploma in Integrative Psychosexual Therapy at the College of Psychosexual Health in London. Barbora has special interest in working with the sexuality issues of couples and individuals, offering a karma-informed approach based on the theory of Dr. Bessel regarding karma healing and the importance of bringing the body into therapy room. You can connect with Barbora via her website https://barboratherapy.co.uk. Again, barboratherapy.co.uk. So welcome to the Vedic reading series, episode number 22, part 2, The Comfort of Nakedness and Psychosexuality with Barbora.
Yeah. Hi.
All right.
So this is the second part of the first podcast which we have done, and here in this particular episode, we are actually going through the exciting chat of Barbara. How it's going to see how excited you are. How excited you are? Like, have you done this
Great.
before?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Well, mainly to hear quite, or I'm curious because I've done the normal chart, which was very interesting, but I've never done the tantra chart. So yeah, sounds quite interesting, and with finding out what I will get to know is a bit exciting and scary in the same way.
Have you took the printout of the chart which I have sent you? Like
Yeah.
I have sent you a
Oh, if I
PDF.
print, yeah, you send it to me. Go for it. Somebody really wants you.
So have you gone through the chart which I have sent you?
Yeah, it's like you send it me the chart, but I have no understanding what is it at all. You know, all that. It's like for me, it's like right? Interesting. What is it?
Mm-hmm.
So, shall I open it or shall I look at it or
Yeah,
what do
we can go through
you?
that. We can go through that. So, one
Okay.
thing I will share my screen to you, like
Mm-hmm.
so you can see
Thank
what is
you.
actually. So, can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So, this is basically your nakshatra is the Dhanishta nakshatra. Okay. Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
So Dhanisha is the group of stars. In Sanskrit terms, we call it as Dhanishta, this particular group of stars. And that if you look at on the sky, at the time of your birth, if you look at on the sky, it will looks like this. The stars, the Dhanishta stars will looks like this. The particular part of the sky where you got birth to, that will looks like this. And this group of stars, we call it as Dhanishta. And there are 27 of them are there, and one of them is for you, Dhanishta, and this also like so. The interesting thing is like how does it manifest in this life um, is the thing which we are actually looking into. Um, so from your chart, one thing I can see is that the mm,
Mm-hmm. It's like maybe as you're sharing the screen, it seems like the internet connection is falling a little bit. So I have a bit trouble to hear you in between. I don't know if that will be the same in video or
which one what was that
now
you
it's
were not
fine.
able to understand, like yeah,
Now it's
so
fine.
what
Now
I
as
was
you
saying is
switched.
that
Hmm?
yeah, okay, so what I was saying is that the nakshatra of you is Dhanishta. Okay, Dhanishta is the group of stars, that particular part of the sky. When you get birth, the at that particular part of the sky, there will be a couple of stars will be there. So these particular stars, we call it as Dhanishta, which is belongs to you. So we start by figuring out how does this particular group of stars will manifest in your life. So this is how we actually start with. Okay,
Hmm.
and
Yes.
your paksha is Krishna. So there is two paksha. Each nakshatra will be having two paksha. One is Krishna and another one is Shukla Paksha. So your paksha is Krishna Paksha, and in that thing, the Krishna Paksha, there will be a bird. A bird will be there. Hmm. See, your bird is vulture. Okay, can you see my screen now?
Hmm. It's a bit harder when you are on the website, then it's harder to hear you. I don't know why, if it's maybe internet or uh, then the sound is getting kind of destroyed,
Mm.
but I hope that's fine.
So your bird is vulture basically. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in tantra we have an understanding, like druidry, like we are not the we are the part of the nature itself. So how does that some certain things like animals or birds or plants, things like that will actually vibrate the frequency which you are having. So based on that, this is the particular bird which will actually vibrate the frequency you are having. So this will actually manifest in your life in a way that you like to go alone, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you look at on your life, you would like to uh, go alone and feel alone. This is the thing which the bird will manifest on your life basically.
Mm-hmm.
um, and this is your uh, tree. I don't know, this is a tropical plant. Whether this will be there on your area or not, I am not sure, but this is your plant.
Thank you.
So basically, in India, what happens is like people actually worship their own plant. They actually get a connection with their own plant, their own bird, and things like that. Um, so in certain way, this is the plant which is being actually connected with you. And this is the nature of this particular star is actually demonic nature.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Demonic nature in the sense it is not like while we are speaking about the demonic nature in biological terms, it's not like that. But this is something like it's more like uh, a reflection kind of thing. This is how you reflect towards your life. Like suddenly you will get angry, you will get crazy, and the deaths and things like that you could entertain in your life. You may be entertained in your life in some certain period of your life, things like that. This is how it's manifest with your life.
Um,
And there
that's
is,
what I like to do. Yeah.
what's that?
No, it's like I like to actually dance with my demons, like to to explore the dark side that we all have. That's kind of my, yeah. So invite
So
them and
if you
yeah.
like to, what is that?
No, it's like, yeah. Sorry, please continue. Yeah.
No, no, what was that? What was that you're saying?
No, that's for me quite known, or I basically that's what I also do in therapy work, I believe, for like bringing the demons and see them on the light. I don't know if that's what you meant, or that's for me quite.
Yeah, that is how, see, the real you is actually demonic. It's not like demonic in negative way. When
Hmm.
you actually seeking your own self, you can actually see that that is the a demonic nature in you. So if you bring that out, actually basically you can actually get into something called self realization.
Hmm.
And there is something called as tamasic nature is there on you. Like this nature will actually won't allow you to go more, like overthinking.
Mm-hmm.
This is how this nature will actually reflect on you. The things may not be true, but you start to assume things that will actually demonic nature. I mean, that is actually overthinking that will give you a negative resonance.
Okay.
So if you want to achieve more, I mean, if you want to unleash the inner demons of you, you have to just give a you have to just look into what is this tamasic nature is doing to you, which means that overthinking.
Hmm.
And your buddha means the sky is your buddha. So what does it means is that uh, you have a higher thinking capability.
Hmm.
I mean, you can look into sky, which means that you can unleash your mind and go into sky. You can imagine like sky.
Well, yeah, it's like for me, it's very easy to disappear to the higher spheres. It's like in Tantra working on is to stay grounded and be able to, yeah, to do it
So
when
in
I feel.
tantric work, what we have to do is like we have to actually unite the both, actually the higher understanding and the ground we are standing also. Then we can actually, that is called Yogavidya, the knowledge of yoga. We can, how we can actually unite the higher understanding and with the everyday living we are doing. So uh, so then only we can actually always high while we are actually doing something. So the danger is like we can actually get lost into the higher also, like we are forgetting we are here, and we can get lost into there. And also we may never achieve that higher, we are still here. So these two extremes are actually very dangerous. So to get into that higher into the everyday life is called yoga vidya. So that is where we are actually getting a state of, ecstatious orgasmic
Hmm.
nature, like
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Sometimes if you know it, then it's hard to go back. Yeah. Like that.
so your feminine nature is more on you, which means that Shaktic nature. There is two parts is there on every human beings. One is a male and one is female, like Shiva and Shakti. In
Mm-hmm.
tantric terms, it is very important. Like when Shiva and Shakti comes together and they merge together, the real things will happen. So what happens is like in your nature, Shakti is predominant, which means that you are creative.
Mm-hmm.
So there will be some metabolic problems will happen on you, health issue, like it's because the pitta, this is an iron quality which is more on you. Because of that there will be metabolism problems may happen on you. So what to do over there is like you have to actually do more meditation, yoga, things like that. So this particular energy can be you can actually control.
Hmm.
So Ashtavasus is the god which is associated with your nakshatra, which means that Ashtavasu is a eight vasus. That is eight quality of the solar gods, like eight qualities of the sunlight. That is the gods of energy and light. So you have a quality to bring energy and light into other people's life. So that's how this god, I mean, when I say god, it is actually you should understand it is like a metaphysical entity. It's
Mm-hmm.
a it's not like a god like who is staying on higher and giving you these things or whatever. It's not like that. This is something you can easily connect with, and that particular energy you can bring into your life, and you can actually manifest that in your life. So this is the solar god of energy and life. So there is also one kriya which is associated with your nakshatra, and that can be used along with the sun salute to come into more orgasmic existence. That kriya is there over the this Dhanishta Nakshatra page. This is my website. You can actually, that link is been given on your chat which I have shared with you. It is there,
Hmm.
you can actually see. So there is a Kriya, there is a video will be there. You can use that. Then this is the lion yoni. This is which means that while having sexual intercourse, you are actually there is 12 yonis associated with each nakshatra. So this is lion yoni is what is associated with you, which means that this is the wildest yoni in all the 12 yonis. So you will enjoy more connection and deeper while you are in control.
Hmm.
So Mars is your birth planet. So this is the all about your nakshatra. Now we will go to your chart basically. The chart is what it will actually give you more insight. The self, the first house. If you see this thing, there is 12 houses are there, you know. These are
Yeah.
12 houses. The very first house, it is saying the moon is associated with moon is associated with ascendant. So that is first house, that is moon.
Mm-hmm.
So moon is the planet which is associated with mother. Okay, so there is a kind of bond which was existing in your life with your mother or motherly nature. So that is made yourself the relationship with your mother especially. That is
Hmm.
moon. That is your self, your character. That is how it was programmed. And Rahu is your Bentu. Rahu is the planet which is associated with occult understanding. So your friend is Rahu. So this particular planet is helps you to go deeper on you, inside on you.
Mm-hmm.
And the fifth house, which is Putra house. Putra house means uh, it is the Putra means the offspring, like you, the kids you might be having, which will be, if there is a kid, it will be son, which means that a male kid, you know. And Ari, enemy bhava, enemy house, there is Mercury and Venus is staying. So Venus is the planet of relationship. So that is your enemy. Like the relationships most of the time end up in tragedy.
Hmm.
It's mostly because the Mercury, uh, Mercury is the planet like the ideology can um, overlap, or it can get into struggle. So what happens is like it will actually uh, make you to get distracted in your relationship. Mars and Saturn is staying on the ninth house, which means that the yeah, you are an you like to do hard working.
I like the real work, yeah, to the bones, yeah. That's why I do trauma therapy as well, yeah.
So in Karma Bhava, there is Ketu is staying. Uh, So it's actually associated with the Ketu is the planet of the previous birth. So there is something is carrying out from the previous birth, which is actually directing on your karma bhava. Karma bhava means it's the job you are doing.
Mhm.
It's associated with your previous birth. And the labha is Jupiter is the planet of wisdom. So this is what the your what you get out of all these things. I mean the result you are getting out of this. And we have to go through your now you are 36-year old by
I'm
Brihaspati.
37 now. You did it when I was
Yeah.
36 still, you did it like a week or not even before my birthday. So sorry to mess it up.
So now you are 37, all right. So right
Yeah.
now your planet is Brihaspati. So this is the time the most of the learning will happen in your life. And 5 plus 7, this is like 12. At the age of 12, uh, to the age of 12 plus 10, somewhere around 20, um, from the age of 12 to 20, that is the part you don't like to remember in your life. There was something very things has happened. And right now the planet is Brihaspati, the planet which gives more wisdom and the effort. It will give the result of the effort which you are doing basically. So 10 plus 100, 26, 26, by 31, 31, 32, 33, 35, 30. To get into a stable relationship, you have to come approximately the age of 40.
Yeah, I've been told like I've been set twice like 38, 39 is the time for me to settle down. Yeah.
So you have to come approximately somewhere around 40. So the Venus will get stronger. So your from the enemy house, the Venus will actually give you some changes, and it will be like somewhere around 40 uh, pass. And whatever the relationship, by the age of 37 or 39, I mean, yeah, you may go into a relationship now, something like, but that may get into a trouble by 39, 40.
Yeah.
Any questions?
It's cool. Well, I'm just curious about, I don't know, it's like, the chart is basically as a map, right? If I understand it right, it's like a bit more like a
Yeah.
mapping, and sure, it doesn't tell you the future, or it doesn't tell you what will happen exactly. But because as you say, and I've been told when I was 20, 21 or something, that I'll be studying until I'm like 38, which is basically I have to have 1 year for my accreditation now to work with therapy clients, and which basically seems perfectly right to that, what I was told when I was 20. And then I had my chart reading 3 years ago, when I've been told like relationship, I should just take time up till I'm like 38, 40, yeah, in between that time. So I'm just curious, as I'm questioning, as a working with tantra, I know it leads you quite into the depth of your understanding as a woman, man, like a female, man, and masculine, feminine energy, and I know it's like through my profession, hold the space for people. It's like I look for partner who can also hold space for me, which is not easy for most of the men, because I always feel more like with a client than as a woman. So I'm curious, is there any sign in the chat of being a mother, or if that's kind of totally out of the question, or like that?
So there is a sign of being a mother.
I'm still questioning. Like I like when the things come as a natural, and it has to be like, I don't like to push or press the stuff like, oh, I need to find somebody to get pregnant and have a child. It's like it doesn't work for me that way. It has to be gift of the life, or otherwise to accept that there are different ways of living the life, not like a mother. Because my work for me is a kind of my lifestyle. If you maybe understood or saw it, or like for me it's not just a word. It's like in tantra and in therapy, it's kind of working with people, help them to bring more clarity and awareness, and it's kind of, yeah, it's my life passion. So I wonder if there is space for me to be a mother as well, or I was wondering about the time, or if I should do something for it, or just to let it go and trust the life. It will give me what I need. And I know that's like, if that's too much question, if that's, let me know.
No, it's like there is a sign of becoming a mother on your chart.
Yeah, I've been told I will be a mother when I will be old. They said like, don't expect to have child before 38. I've been told again twice. So I was just wondering if there's a, and what's interesting is about relationship. It's a kind of, yeah, I'm not a type of being in one relationship forever, or I'm like my other friend who's doing actually the chart reading. So like, yeah, you have mainly a karmic relationships to clean up your karma from your past. So that's why it's always so strong and kind of like it's like a bunker, a little bit like very strong, and it feels like 10, like we've been together maybe like 10 months, and it feels like 10 years relationship afterwards, like very intense, and then it ends. So it's kind of, yeah, it says a little bit of what you
So
just
the
said.
Mercury and the Venus is staying together, and the Venus is in your enemy house. So it is very hard for you to stay on the single relationship that is there on your
Yeah,
chart, basically.
yeah, and I know I'm not a type of person for traditional monogamous relationship. Like it's like not for me. Yeah, like fully respecting everybody else having what they need to do, and I'm like, just don't expect that from me. This is too yeah, you mentioned it like like to go alone, like a she wolf a little bit. That's kind of my life. Yeah. And see what, may I ask, is there any sign of where I'm gonna live, or is like because the last chart I had, there was also like what is my part of life, like a place to live in my life. I'm still, as I said, I'm still looking for settling and nesting, which may become when I'm 40. And I'm still questioning if the UK is the right place, or I'm quite missing Denmark, or I'm Czech. It was like, I like lived in Norway, I lived in Africa. I like I feel like the human of the planet. I don't care about the origin. I just do care about how I feel and where is my place. So I'm just wondering if this gives any kind of guidance, or I'm still questioning. And right now I know this is the best place for me to be now, to learn and to study and to work. But is it for the rest of the life or for the future? Or I may know I can pendle maybe between UK or Denmark, or UK or Czech, or it's like quite a normal for me to have like a pendulating life as well as relationships. So I'm just wondering again, you give me this possibility to have questions. Be careful about sometimes what you're asking with me.
Wait,
I like to wonder. Yeah, I like have questions.
You eventually settle down within 2 years from now.
Hmm. Yeah, that's what they say, like 30, 38, 39, 40 time in between. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm kind of, I have to say, I always kind of trusted the life I'm on, right space, and getting what I need instead of to think, like try to have this push of the, uh, this is what I need to do, or this is like, so yeah, thank you. So I feel like I've been always lucky to meet the right people in the right moment, and to trust the what I'm getting is the right thing for me from life, which basically how I get into the tantra. So, and then into the therapy, it was very natural flow. It was not kind of my decision. It was always kind of offered, and it felt right in the moment. So if you ask me 10 years ago, I will work with in tantra with people, like touching body, understanding, like never, don't, like I would think you are out of, yeah, no.
Give me a
So
second.
yeah,
Give
so
me a second.
yes.
Things started to get.
I mean, your internet is getting.
No, no, no. The charge battery.
Hmm. Oh, right. Yeah, please do what you need to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah. Um, I don't know if you like, you are kind of for me that somebody who knows quite a lot about Tantra. It's your culture. It's like I still feel like I've just follow something what feels natural for me. And I've been always wondering if it's just something you kind of born for, or because for me it was really nothing I was looking for to work with Tantra. I'm basically studied as social worker. I'm studied like, and since I start to go for one seminar in Denmark, and when I find it's actually that time the right people in that moment, I just didn't want to stop. I just wanted to understand more. It just, and people told me immediately like, wow, I feel you can make a difference. And so basically I didn't learn so much about Tantra. I just try to study and understand what I do with people when I touch them and when I allow the body to go with the flow. So there's always been for me kind of like, okay, it doesn't feel I choose the Tantra. It choose Tantra. It feels like Tantra chose me, or it's, and I have to say I'm very happy to do this kind of work. It gives me a big fulfilling and understanding of myself, and I can spread it and offer it to other people. This kind of state of being, connecting, going deeper, beyond the mind, even getting orgasmic if possible, gently kind of entering it. So that's kind of interesting in my life, that if I try to choose it by my mind, it never work. If I just follow it by nature of the life, it's just growing and going.
So, what was the question you've been asking me?
Yeah, if it's like, if there's any chart, like in the chart, is there any sign that, yeah, I can actually, the Tantra has been kind of part of my life without I've made a decision. Or you said like, I like a deep work, I like a depth and hard work in a way of feeling the life in it. So the intensity, even now within therapy, working with people who has cancer or who may not go through it or may go through it, so help them to go through that hard situations and cope with it, and if they go through the treatment, how they can come back to the sexual intimacy relationship life as somebody different than you. And if never, or death never ever scared me, or like a feeling, these things have never been any big issue for me. It's natural, it's life. So if it's in the chart, or if I just make it in my mind, I don't know. It's like, it's like the nature of being who I am. It's like questioning sometimes. I feel like alien bit, or a weirdo, or different, or feeling things more intensively and having more understanding of stuff.
So basically, your chart is giving a clue that the you know, how you have a Rahu, the planet which is the Rahu, which is been associated with your Bandhu, which is like your friend. Rahu, the planet Rahu is your friend. So which means that that is actually the occult nature which is been associated with your mind. That is on the it is there on the fourth house.
Thank you.
And it's like see, the thing is like we the life is like this. We may feel like we want to do something, but actually life is actually doing things to us.
Yep.
For example, for example, there is a story. It's like uh, the flies, the black flies that goes from flower to one flower to another flower to drink nectar. The flies, they will come from one flower to another flower, and they start drinking the nectar. So as they started to drink more and more nectar, what happens, the nectar is actually hallucinative. So it will give them a hallucination that they are actually doing the they are the king of that particular
Flower.
garden, particular garden, not just the flower. There are a
Okay.
lot of flowers
Oh
in the
wow,
garden.
even garden. Okay.
They started to feel like they are the king of the garden. So what is actually happening here, the nature is actually making them to do the pollination. When they go from one flower to another flower, what is happening, there is pollination is happening.
Hmm.
Pollination, you understand the term pollination, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
The pollination
Right.
is actually
Absolutely.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the nature is actually making them to do the pollination, but this guy is
Yeah.
thinking he's the king of the
It's
garden.
there. Yeah.
So life is like that.
That's nice.
Life is like that, whether you want to do it or not, it doesn't matter. It will make you to do
Hmm.
thing what it want out from you.
Hmm. Thank you. Yeah, that's a lovely one. And maybe last question, and let me know if that's as I've been
Okay.
always it's again connected with my work, especially through Tantra, as I finding my sexual energy very strong, and
Mhm.
which in our society, especially Western society in UK maybe especially, it's kind of very rare, or kind of something still a lot of shame and guilt about feeling sexual, especially as a woman. So I'm also kind of questioning, as it is a big part of my life
Mhm.
professionally, but also personally, as basically what I do is like bringing my own personal understanding and experience to my work. And is it there also in the chart somehow that you maybe mention it with the Shakti or with the
Yeah.
women stuff? I don't
So
know. It's like
the
which
Shakti
is very
Shakti
strong.
energy is the, I mean, the yoni also I have showed, yoni
Hmm.
means it's a categorization. It's not just the vaginal this thing. It's not just the term for the vagina. It's also categorization. There are 12 yonis. There are 12 yonis in astrology. So this because the term yoni is not just vagina.
Yeah,
Okay, and so
it's much more than that. Yeah,
it's much more than that, because it's a Sanskrit term. That exact
exactly.
meaning
And
is not
Sanskrit
there. Is
has, yeah.
Yeah, exact
I
meaning is
know. That's
not
why
there
I
on
like
the.
Sanskrit. Yeah. It
Yeah,
has like a more it doesn't define into narrow stuff. It has more understanding. There is a more kind of to embrace in the
it's a kind
word,
of
right?
dialectic.
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
a in single term will be having 10 to 12 meaning. So the what happens is like there are 12 yoni, 12 sexual categorization. In that, your yoni is lion, like the lion is like so wild.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of,
So
yeah. Often hungry, yeah. That gives a
yeah.
sense. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hunting. Yeah. Uh, Thank you. Yeah, that's for like, yeah, questioning or just sometimes wondering, but great. Thank you very much. Yeah. Do you have anything to me, or you just don't know? Like,
Do you have anything else? You've been asking me something like, is that something you've been born with, or what is that?
yeah, I think you've answered all my questions right now compared to chart or what I wonder about myself and about this reading. And maybe to go through that, what you've just showed me, and read it more slowly and do some my research on. It was interesting also to see the position, the sex position, or about like it's like something different. I like it about that kind of reading. You know, it's something what we do not do in this like a Western European chart reading. You will hardly have any talk about your uni sign or lingam signs and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice and empowering and great to bring it and to make people aware of, you know, this is also part of life. This is also part of your chart, because normally we speak about, you know, the jobs and kind of, yeah, it's a bit more boring. For me at least, it's a bit more interesting. Yeah.
Anything else?
I think from me that's kind of it, maybe, or yeah, or if you have anything to add or to ask or to, I don't know, it's like to put it as another part of what we had, you know, last week as our chat about my work and what I do, what I offer. If to put it into some kind of closure, or what you feel, what is good idea for
I
you
think
from your
we have.
perspective?
What's that?
From your perspective, from also like we are meeting for your reason as well, hopefully. So
Yeah. So, do you have any questions from the chat, basically, right now?
I think that's all the questions I had, you know, about this. Like we had now the chat, so that's for
Mm-hmm.
me all with the chart. I just wonder maybe like how we can connect it to our talk that we had
Mm-hmm.
last week,
Okay. Okay.
or to include it, or to kind of bring it so it may bring also some understanding, or
Thank you for listening to my podcast. You could connect with me in arunsyoga.in, where you could see my contact details, including my phone number, my WhatsApp, and email ID. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes.